Ramadan is the time of year that I most look forward to. I can still remember the smell of the pakoras mum would make at iftar time and the excitement of getting up early for suhoor. Now that I have children of my own, I really want them to feel that same sense of excitement and anticipation for the month. And one way of doing that for me is to go all in with my decorations. Hi, I'm Rabia, also known as the London Craft Girl, and in this tutorial I'm showing you how to make this stunning mosque advent calendar. Use this as part of your decorations for the month, or turn it into an advent calendar by adding a little chocolate or a date into each one of the boxes. For this project you will need your Cricut Maker or Explorer. You'll need some 12x12 cardstock in white and an accent colour. I've chosen this pastel glitter range. You'll need some adhesive and LED tea lights. Make sure you're using LED tea lights and not real candles. Let's get started by opening the project in Design Space. To access the project, click on the link in the description below. This will take you to the web landing page for Design Space. That's okay, just click on Open and open up your Design Space app. And then you have to just give it a minute, but it will then open up the landing page for the project. So let's select Customize. So you can see on the canvas, there are two different sized boxes for this project. I will cut the boxes out of the white 12x12 cardstock, and the embellishments, so these pink and purple layers, I will do them out of the pastel glitter cardstock. To give the final project a nicer look, more variety and texture, I would suggest cutting the boxes in a range of sizes. I've actually sized the boxes on the canvas for now at the maximum size that you can cut on the Cricut cutting mats. So after you've cut them in this size a few times, if you just select and then keep the lock icon on and then drag in from the corner, you can resize them. I wouldn't suggest going too small because these intricate details will become then difficult for the machine to cut and you might not get a clean cut. When we proceed to the Make It screen, Cricut Design Space will ask us to use the 12x24 inch mat for this box here, and that is because this longest dimension is 14.5 inches. And on a 12x12 cutting mat, the longest that the machine can cut is only 11.5 inches. So let's cut one box at a time. I'm going to hide this one. You can see it's all grouped up here, and I will just click this icon to hide it. Now go to the Make It screen. And so the first thing you'll see is this blue message appearing at the top, just reminding you that you have to use the 12x24 inch mat. So just click OK. And here you can see that Design Space has arranged this box on the mat. The problem is that we're using 12x12 cardstock, and this length of 14 inches obviously will not fit. All we have to do is rotate the shape and move it up. And as you can see, the box now fits within the first 10 inches. So when we place our cardstock onto the mat, there'll be plenty of space for this box to fit onto that cardstock. So then hit continue, connect to your machine. Now for the specific white cardstock that I have used for this project, I've actually found that using the glitter cardstock setting works better. If you use the glitter cardstock setting and then also set your pressure to more, what I found is that you get a clean cut on the first run. However, if you were to use the heavy cardstock setting, even with more pressure, I found I had to do 2 passes. So once the cut was complete and Design Space was prompting me to eject the mat, I instead pressed the C or the go button on the machine, and then that way I got a clean cut all the way through the cardstock. So have a play, see what works for you, but for me, I'm going to use the glitter cardstock setting. You might need to edit your tools. I don't personally have a scoring wheel, so I just changed this to scoring stylus. And now we're ready to load our materials onto our mat and into the machine. Place your cardstock onto your cutting mat and then rub it down with your hand or with a brayer tool, just to make sure there's a strong bond between the cardstock and the mat so it won't slip during the cut. Now make sure you've got your correct tools in your machine and then load the mat. and then press the flashing go button to start the cut. To remove the cut pieces, turn your cutting mat upside down and peel it away from the cardstock. This way, we won't get any curling into the cardstock. Use a scraper tool to remove any of the leftover small pieces of cardstock on your cutting mat. It's quite important to maintain these mats like this because you'll reduce the useful life if you don't clean them regularly. Let's first attach these embellishment pieces. I'm going to be using a tape pen. This is a really cool tool. It's basically a dispenser of double-sided tape, but you don't have to deal with the faff of peeling off the backing of the tape. It just comes straight out. For the more intricate pieces, we can use a glue pen. This is also really useful for when you are working with very small pieces of card. The pen is a very precise way of getting glue onto your cardstock. It is quite long drying, so it's okay if it takes you a bit of time to get the glue onto the piece. Alternatively, you can use a clear glue and a paintbrush. Just find a paintbrush with quite a small nib to it, and then you can just paint this glue onto your embellishment piece and then apply it onto the box. Let's now construct the box. So this one is actually a pattern I've adapted from a pattern for an exploding box. The first thing we'll need to do is fold along all of the score lines. You can use the same scraper tool to press down on the fold lines to make them a bit neater and sharper. To construct the box, we need to attach the two facing edges of these corner flaps together. I'm going to use the tape pen for this again. Then just press it into place. And then we'll glue this flap down onto the side of the box where we do not have that lattice cut out. This is just to make sure we don't obstruct that nice pattern that we've made. So again, use the tape pen to apply some glue and then press down in place. And now simply repeat this on all four sides of the box. finish off the project, I've added some LED tea lights into each of the boxes, and I just love the way it makes the boxes shine and glimmer. I'm so excited to show this to the kids, and I definitely plan to make this part of our annual tradition. I'll just keep these boxes safe in a box so that I can reuse them every single year. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to follow along with some written instructions, then there is a full write-up on the Hobbycraft Ideas Hub, which I have linked for you in the description below. There's lots more inspiration for you on the Hobbycraft blog and YouTube channel, and you'll find all my projects and tips over on my Instagram and YouTube channel. Just search London Craft Girl and you'll find me. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy crafting!